Welcome back to another edition of Two Dudes and a Mexican. 2 weeks in a row.
Record.
It's a record. I'm your host, some dude named Victor Salazar. To the left of me, another dude named Peter Soprano.
What up?
To the right of me, a resident Mexican, Dave Quinones.
Órale, mi gente.
My guy Hav in the background, still not a Lions fan, but he's here. What up? Yeah, so 2 weeks in a row, live from Bogies, as you can see. We love Bogies. We love Mo downstairs.
Yep.
Playing Drake. We could hear it. Stop playing that garbage, bro. Anyways, so last show we did a lot on the NFL draft. We're going to do that again. Obviously, the title of the show is Best 5 Team Grades for the NFL Draft, so we're going to dive into that.
It's going to be short.
We're going to dive into Pete's frustration, me and Dave's elation, because I think the Giants did great.
Yeah.
We'll talk about the massive, massive women's fight yesterday at Madison Square Garden. You know, we got to give them props.
Yeah.
And, you know, the NBA playoffs still going on. We got the Bucks and Celtics going on right now. Woo-hoo. So, let's start off here, Pete. I'm going to start with you because there was a lot of venting on the app called Twitter.com.
Yeah.
And while you tell me why you needed to vent, I'll go tweet the link to the show. If it didn't automatically did tweet out. But A.J. Brown is no longer a Titan.
I just want to point out that I did say that last. We
not
could run the
time.
tape, and I did say something. So, but we'll leave it. We'll leave that to later.
We're not replaying.
We'll leave
right
it. I'm
now.
just saying.
There's no replay.
I mean, I did say it though.
So I know I was on a train. I missed hanging out with the guys on Thursday.
Monticello, right?
Yeah,
I fell asleep.
Yeah, I fell asleep.
on the
You know,
train.
I didn't make it to
It's all good,
yesterday's.
it's all good, bro.
But Pete, I seen in the text chat. Pete said, "Fuck the NFL." I'm like, what?
He didn't know it was wrong.
I'm like, what's going on?
He said,
I'm
"What
like,
happened?" He said, "What happened?"
I'm like, what happened? I get on Twitter.
No, he almost broke his phone.
AJ Brown's traded to the
He almost
fucking
burned down-
Eagles, man.
almost burned down the bar.
Trade him to the
Yeah.
49ers, bro. Get him out of my division. But, man,
Yeah.
I'll leave it up to you, man. Before we get into the top 5 NFL grades, or top 5 drafts, I would say, I want you to vent. This is your platform, so go right ahead.
Listen, I've been a Titans fan for 30 years and over 30 years, and this was probably one of the most frustrating nights to see them. This goes up there with them losing the playoff game last year, with them as the Houston Oilers blowing the 35-point lead against the Buffalo Bills. It was just frustrating to see a team that's so close to winning a championship trade away your best wide receiver, a top 10 wide receiver in the league. And it was over a couple million per year, which to us obviously is a lot. But to an NFL team, to lose your best player over a couple million a year is just stupid. Like the league is turning towards a passing league. You need good wide receivers. You can't just keep shuffling over and over again and just hoping you get lucky and picking out the good wide receivers. Now, I personally think Treylon Burks is going to be a good wide receiver, but you have an established wide receiver already in A.J. Brown. How about you draft Burks and bring him in with A.J. Brown? Then you have him, you have A.J., you have Robert Woods, and you can go and try to win a championship there. For them to minus to add Burks, it made no sense to me at all. And it made it look like, all right, we're going to start over. That's why one of my main tweets right after that was like, you know what? Get rid of Tannehill too. Just start over, get another quarterback, which they ended up doing with Malik Willis. But I just wanted... No, the one I really wanted was Desmond Ridder.
Oh, he did at one point say, like, make it up to me and draft Malik
because after the playoff loss, I was bashing Tannehill for a long time. Everybody said, calm down, don't burn it down. And then I said, all right, fine. I'll go with the same team to add weapons. But you take away his best weapon, then you might as well burn it down and start over. So that was my take on it. That's why I went on the long rant that, you know what, if you're going to start over, just start over completely. Don't half-ass it, because the worst thing in the league to be is a middle-tier team.
But could they have kept him? Like, what, you know...
I'll tell you the reason why.
What's the difference between what the Eagles, did for him and what the Titans could have done for him?
Well, it was frustration because the contract negotiations have been going on for a while. You heard all these trade rumors out there for him. You heard about the Jets obviously saying they wanted him and all these teams want him. So after a while, he just got frustrated with with it and just wanted to go. But this got caused because of two reasons. One, when they signed Harold Landry in the offseason, because they signed to $20 million a year. If you sign your defensive edge rusher to $20 million a year, plus you got Dupree who's making $20 million a year, plus you got Simmons and Autry who are both making $10 million a year. They're putting $60 million into 4 players on the D line. The offense is more important in today's NFL. You got to put some money into the offense. But if that's the most in the league, $60 million in D line. If you're putting that much in the D-line, you have no money for the offense. And the second reason, I mentioned it last week, Christian Kirk. Christian Kirk is a good, solid wide receiver, but when he gets paid $18 million, every wide receiver wanted to raise after that. And that's why this offseason went crazy with wide receivers wanting raises, because they saw somebody like Christian Kirk get $18 million. Everybody wants over $20 million now. So Brown wanted over $20 million, and now he got it from the Eagles.
And Devontae Adams and Hill's contracts, that didn't help as well. So
every single wide receiver wanted a big raise.
It's kind of like the housing market, man. When what I'm saying, these houses are going for crazy amounts of money. That's what happens with players, and I hear you, man. But I guess Vrabel was lying too, huh? Because when he commented, he said,
but you can see he was upset.
He said, I know, but he said, what did he say? He said, "Not while I'm the coach."
Yeah.
And,
For all your realtor needs, reach out to David.
No, I'm not a realtor.
Esquire.
All right. Yeah, so let's get into it. I just wanted you to vent,
Get it all out.
Get it all out. It's I seen on Twitter you said that the Eagles are about to be your second favorite team.
I have a little frustration too.
Shit, come
I have a little frustration too.
Hav, can you say something to that?
Yeah.
Can you please say something to that?
I will
Don't
support.
worry about it.
Listen,
Brown's going to get hurt the first game.
I will. I will support AJ Brown though.
I mean, fuck,
Support him.
fuck
You support the Eagles.
Yeah, fuck
No,
him.
no,
Fuck, I mean, I'm not going to say fuck him, but fuck the Eagles.
Next week, one dude and a Mexican.
Dre will be back from wherever island he's at.
Really?
I'm just joking. I don't know where he is. I haven't seen Dre in, last time we were here, what, a month ago?
Yeah.
Still
That's normal, though. That's
a
normal.
couple of years. and shit.
Okay, so let's get into who had the best draft. I'm going to pose this to you. What team do you think, if we were, all right, let's stop. Let's stop there. That's unsuspenseful, right?
Yeah.
Let's go with your fifth. Let's go with your top five and tell me why. Who do you think is the best draft?
My top five? I mean, listen, I'm biased, obviously. I like what the Giants did with this draft.
So you're going to rank them fifth?
No, I'm not going to rank them fifth. So I'll probably rank them, I don't know.
Number one? No, I'm just kidding.
Number two.
Number two.
Number two.
I mean, I didn't watch the fourth round on yesterday, so I'm not sure how good they did.
I didn't either. I just liked, obviously,
Picked up another wide receiver.
what we did with our defense, finally getting a pass rusher. Last time, again, we talked about this before, right? Last week was the last time we had a pass rusher, man. What, JPP? So I mean,
Aziz.
I think we have a guy that has the potential of being blue chip. We don't know yet. So,
Okay.
Obviously, I like what they did with getting Evan Neal. They got a couple of linebackers. The wide receiver was a little head scratcher only because
Pete likes him. I
like him,
kinda
but he's
do
a
too.
slot. He's a slot, right? We already got two slots, so it's kind of like, okay, what are we doing here? But you can never have too much of anything. So I'm definitely a high believer.
Who's your slots on that team? Like,
I think he's saying
Sterling
Shepard and Tony.
and you got
yeah, but
what's his face?
Shepard was practically cut because
Still,
he's
still a slot.
only on the roster because he took the minimum salary and he took a pay cut. He's not going to be on the team after this year.
He loves New York that much. He's going to take a pay cut.
He's not going to be on the roster after this year. So you got to look for the future.
Good point. So, but I mean, again,
Titan.
we'll see what happens. But I like what the Giants did. I was happy as a Giant fan. So
So you put them two?
I put them two. Yeah.
Okay. So what about the other four?
I mean,
I'll let you think about that because that two is a little suspect to me because I love the Giants.
Listen,
I love the
we
Giants.
got to be positive, baby.
I'll
We
say
gotta
they
be
were.
positive, baby.
I will say they had a top 10 draft. I won't say they had a top 5.
Wow.
But you got to compare it from Gettleman to
What's it?
man.
I think that's a big difference too. So
I think all right, for the Giants, let's focus a little on the Giants as I said we would. I think
By the way, I agree with him. I think I have him number 2 also.
what?
Yeah, I think the Giants are the draft.
it's all good.
All
They
right.
hit
man.
big points and they got 2 star players.
I think the draft was made easier for the Giants
By the
because
first couple of picks.
the Jets and who picked third?
Houston Texans.
The Jets and the Texans both went cornerback at 3 and 4. Made life easier
That
because
did.
it was like, all right, now Joe Schoen is like, I have the 5th pick. There is Kayvon Thibodeau there. I'm not sure if the Panthers may get a pass rusher. I don't want to leave him there. I know they need a tackle. But you know what? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a pass rusher because we need one. And then I will get whoever
is left.
is left between Iki and Evan Neal. So essentially, he basically said, I'm going to take my pass rusher now, and then I'm going to make the second decision easier for myself. I'm not going to pick between Iki and Evan Neal because I know the Panthers are going to take one of them, and I'm just going to take the second person that they don't take. And either way, I think he did well. I think it was made easier for him. I would have liked to have seen what he would have done if, let's say, Evan Neal went fourth or whatever. Icky went third, and they didn't take Sauce Gardner. Or who's the other guy they took? Who the Texans take? The cornerback?
Derek Stingley.
Derek Stingley. So I would like to, because I think it was an easy decision to make at that point.
I think you just still could fuck it up, though.
I mean maybe Gettleman
More
would
to his
have.
point. More to his point.
Yeah,
More
it'd
to
be
his
tough
point.
too, but-
More to his point. I mean, Gettleman. If Gettleman was in the seat, who knows? But I don't like to think of what would have happened. I like to think of what did happen, how did they upgrade, and what is the outlook. You know what I'm saying for
Gettleman
this
was it,
season.
took straight
And I think it's going to be a really. I like the move.
I mean, I think Thibodeau is we were talking about it in the car. Thibodeau is made for New York.
Perfect air player.
Like, did you see him in the Make-A-Wish kid like saying
I told him.
That's
Man,
pretty
I saw
dope.
one of
Pretty
his
dope.
interviews, and
Pretty dope.
I know one of the red flags was what he said. You know, in the review, was something about trying to breathe his brand. Or I don't give a shit about that. Listen, if you
Perfect place to promote his brand.
Yeah, if
that's the thing.
If you have a
Every-
mindset like
I
that, and you can play in New York and make it in New York, I don't give a shit.
The thing is, I think everyone, at some point, if you're going to be a star, is going to focus on the brand.
Yeah.
So, you know what I
Absolutely.
mean? It doesn't matter. It's not like,
They just might not say it.
you know what I'm saying?
Obviously,
It's not like Patrick Mahomes is going to throw 50 touchdowns and not get endorsements.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's at
Tom Brady,
State Farm. What else?
Tom
is he
Brady
doing?
opened his own brand.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like I think in the past you wouldn't be able to talk about that because it was just frowned upon. But now it's like it's not the NBA where the players really control stuff, obviously.
Yeah.
But you can talk about it now because at the end of the day you're still
Produce.
You know what I'm saying? It's like $20 million, right? As a top wide receiver, who's making that? Right, AJ,
like six people now.
6 people, right?
Yeah.
That's the backup point guard for the Memphis Grizzlies, probably. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's like you gotta produce your brand, like because if not, your career is 4 years, right?
Yeah.
On a minimum, right? That's the average NFL lifespan.
And that's the thing. You can be cut with just your guaranteed money, so you don't even get that whole big contract that looks good.
So it's like I'm all right with that, and I liked how the leaks were wrong with Joe Schoening because they all, I forget who it was. I was listening to on ESPN after the draft. I forget who it was. It wasn't Mel Kiper, whoever it was. Maybe it was Field Yates. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah.
And they were like, all I heard all day was how Kayvon Thibodeau had a bad interview with the Giants and they were not going to pick him.
I heard they actually put that up by mistake.
Yeah, but
they did
on
purpose to push him
there
down.
was
So
rumor,
it's like,
though, about-
but it's great
about
because
a lot.
that's the thing. Gettleman had leaks in his whole camp where people knew already what he was doing. I like that Joe Schoen is out here throwing smoke screens and because they literally no one thought the Giants were going to pick Thibodeau because he said he had a bad interview,
Yeah.
and it's good. I mean, we'll see how it produces on the field. I like what they did. I do like the wide receiver pick actually because.
Wandale Robinson.
Because
from
they picked the LSU cornerback in the 4th round, I think.
Yeah.
And he said they asked him who was the toughest receiver you had to guard, and this man plays in the SEC, and he said Robinson. And the guy was like, "Are you blowing smoke?" Like the reporter, because obviously it's cool, right? So
No, of course,
He's, your
yeah,
team.
yeah,
He's like,
yeah.
"No, literally, he was the hardest receiver." And we're talking about guys that play at Alabama, guys that are at Georgia, they played for a national championship, and he
Yeah.
said the guy from Kentucky was the hardest to cover. So.
Yeah.
I'll say the Giants had a top 10 draft, maybe a little on the outside. I'm going to start with my number one. I think the Ravens had an awesome draft, even though they traded away Marquise Brown, which I don't even know if they picked up a quality wide receiver.
They had a record six fourth round pick, so they could pick up literally everybody that fell.
But it's like this, everything they
I knew you
did,
weren't gonna agree with that.
everything in
No, I thought they had a top 5 draft.
everything they did in the first round
you were going to say something.
was so Raven-like. They literally got the best safety in the draft.
Yeah.
Right? At 14.
Yep.
No one thought he was going to fall that far, 14.
Yeah.
And they got the best center in the draft at 23.
Yep.
And that dude is going to... Someone said, so Ravens...
10 years.
These dude needs a wide receiver. They literally got the best people at this position, and they're probably both going to be Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Jesus, this is right. Everyone said Hamilton was going to be great.
Yeah.
Everyone said that the dude from Iowa can't miss, whatever. And now they have that. I thought they had the best draft. And then second, I'm going to go Eagles. I hate them, but I think
They had
they...
a top 5 draft.
I thought they really had a really good draft, man. And
That's a big man in the middle.
that's a big
It's
boy.
gonna be hard to
That's a big
run
boy.
against a 350
well,
pound
I mean,
athletic guy.
we'll see now, right? Because we couldn't run the ball last year,
Yeah.
the year before that. and the year before that. So we'll see what happens. And third, unfortunately, I'm gonna go with the New York Jets. I think they.
Thanks for coming, everybody.
I think they literally had. I think they covered pretty much every need that they needed to have.
And they're still going to be shit.
Maybe, but at the end of the day, like the Cowboys are a mess. Like,
Yeah.
on paper, they're always going to be rated high, but you literally have Jermaine Johnson right there.
Yeah.
Right? Jerry Jones' head was so big because everyone was like, oh, Micah Parsons. And Jerry Jones is over here jerking off like, yeah, I'm the best GM ever. I picked Micah Parsons. And then he had an opportunity to pick Jermaine Johnson, which probably after Thibodeau, pure pass rushing,
Yeah.
is probably the second best pass rusher in the draft to me. Like, Hutchinson is great, but I think pure pass rushing, like third down, put your fingers in the ground, go get the quarterback, maybe third, and Walker will be fourth. I don't know if you agree with it, but I think Jermaine Johnson, if not the third, he's right behind Kayvon Thibodeau.
Yeah, I agree.
So I'm gonna let you go. I don't know who I'll go with fourth and fifth, but
Well, I'll go backwards. Fifth, I thought it was actually the Eagles, so I agree with you. I thought the Eagles getting their guys and getting Davis and finding a way to trade for A.J. Brown, that counts because they used a draft pick for it. I think that was good for them for fifth. Fourth, I would say the Ravens. Same things you said. They had all those picks to fill out all their depth, so they'll be completely revamped again. Third, I'm putting the Detroit Lions.
Almost team.
The reason why I say Detroit Lions, they got the guy who I think was the best wide receiver in the draft, a special player in Jamison Williams. Obviously, Aiden Hutchinson fell into their lap.
When Walker was taken, it was literally 28 seconds later.
Yeah.
Detroit Lions
That's
picked
it,
his
immediately.
head. The dude was like,
Immediately.
I'm not even messing around, but go get him, bro. He's from Michigan.
Yeah.
Detroit, like, let's go.
It was a perfect thing. So I thought they did a good job to get the third best draft. Number two, I already mentioned the Giants. Number one, I actually think the New York Jets. The reason why is because
There you go.
And the reasons why is a couple reasons. So first of all, I thought that they got lucky to get.
To you two guys.
I think they got very lucky, but sometimes luck is part of it to get Johnson fall that far to them to where they were able to trade up and get him in the back of the round. Yeah. He's a guy that I thought was a top 10 pick. So it's like they got 3 top 10 picks in the first round. And then they come back in the second round and get the best running back in the draft. You have the best running back and 3 top 10 picks. I mean, how could you not be? You're getting 4 starters right there. So how could you not be at the top of the draft?
They had a lot of picks, though, man.
But I mean,
they had a lot of picks in this draft as well.
I mean, that helps. They worked it to perfectly. They gave up a second round pick to move up. They did everything they needed to do, and they were perfect. They were set up perfectly. They had 5 starters on this draft. So in 2 years, there'll definitely be something to watch out for.
How do you guys think the Dolphins did this draft?
With their 2 picks?
So
they did good. They got their trade. They got Tyreek Hill.
You got your 3. Do you want to jump in with any of your 5? I got my.
I mean, I was going to say.
Who's your best?
I was going to say. Well, I was going to say the Jets somewhere there. I wasn't going to. I really didn't order them. So I mean, but I was going to say the Jets, obviously, because of the amount of picks they had, and like you guys said, the amount of holes that they were able to fill. That running back. I mean, he looks good. Rated the best in this draft. So I mean, number one, man.
He's gonna say the Giants again.
Like who's the? Well, he said Giants too. It's the team that stood out the most. That said, all right,
I think the Ravens did. The Ravens did, man. I don't know.
I don't want to say it. So
just say it.
He said the Eagles.
I mean, that A.J. Brown. I'm not gonna lie, man.
I mean, if you count,
I don't want to face that fucking guy.
I guess if you count the trade as part of the draft, I think the Eagles probably have the best
draft.
They
gave a first round pick, so you kind of got to count it.
I mean, Eagles are up there, man. I won't rate it, but the Eagles are up there only because now we're gonna have to fucking face this guy, and we're gonna have to, you know what I'm saying, cover that running. I mean, that quarterback. I mean,
Jalen.
But that's the funny thing. They had 3 first round picks this year. One of them they took the big man on defense. Second one they traded for A.J. Brown. The third one they dealt it in to get a first next year. So they did an unbelievable job.
Yeah, they did. They did great. They did great, man. Their GM did a heck of a job. So,
Howie Roseman.
I mean, all right. So my last 2, I think I like what the Chiefs did. Actually, I think they really had a good draft. They showed up more. Yeah, they showed up a lot of things on the defense, and I think you have to, because literally that division is ridiculous. like it's just, like Derek Carr. Like
Derek Carr is the worst
It's the
quarterback
worst
in the division.
quarterback in the division. And if you traded Derek Carr to the NFC East, he'd probably be the second
Like,
best quarterback
like third,
in the division or third, right? When it's like he's the worst quarterback in that division. And this man just got Devontae Adams,
Yeah.
right? And he pair him with Darren Waller, like,
Yep.
and you know what I'm saying? He's the worst quarterback. Like, I'm not saying worst, fourth best, because
Yeah.
actually Derek Carr is not great, but he's a good, solid quarterback,
Yeah.
right? May not
Top
lead you
15,
top
yeah.
15, right? And then top 25.
Top 30, bro.
But they had to, right? They had to. You're facing Russell Wilson twice a year.
Yeah.
You're facing Derek Carr twice a year.
Yeah.
And then you're facing
You got Patrick Mahomes, and you got Justin Herbert.
you're facing
Like, that's a
Justin Herbert.
ridiculous division.
And I think they did well. I think they did well. I know this might be. I don't think people will agree with me on
Don't
this.
say the Patriots.
No, I think the Green Bay Packers had a great draft. And I know people are going to say, well, yeah, dude, they shored up that defense, and maybe they didn't need it. Maybe they didn't need to shore up that
They just hate
defense.
Aaron Rodgers.
Their
Aaron Rodgers,
defense.
no help.
They
They got wide receiver Watson.
Rodgers.
Yeah.
Their defense is going to be one of the best next year, if not the best. And that's all you kind of need, right? It still wins championships, no matter what people say.
You got to get to the championship, though.
Well, that's why I have Aaron Rodgers to get you to the championship, right?
Gotta be able to throw the ball.
You got to get you to the championship, right? But I'll say this, man.
He's got two
Because
people. He's got two people
they
who
need to
throw
put him in a dome or something. Because
I'm
every
telling
time he's
you.
out there in the bad weather in the playoffs, it don't work out too well for them.
Well, at least he'll have a defense that'll at least give him 14 points. Like, put up say what you want, but I think that defense is going to be really good next year.
It will be.
And
It was good last year.
Yeah, and they strengthened it, essentially, you know. So, I like the Packers draft. I really did, even though, like,
It's
the
just-
glaring news of wide
It's
receiver.
just amazing. They've had 15, 20 years of Aaron Rodgers, one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and they've never given him one first-round pick wide receiver.
Well,
It's crazy.
I mean, they've had 30 years of elite quarterbacking,
Yeah.
and they only had 2 Super Bowls. So,
Yeah.
so
May want to change something there.
what do you think about your last 2?
About what the last two
Your
drafts?
last 2 top 5s.
I put in there, like I said, I think the Eagles, because I thought the Eagles, we talked about A.J. Brown and everything like that and all they did with their first-round picks. And I had the Ravens in there because I thought the Ravens just filled out their team. You talked about the 2 guys they got in the first round. And then the 6th round, they took little pieces to help out on pretty much all parts of the ball, whether it's special teams, whether it's defense, offense. They helped out everything in that
So
6th
you
round.
went Jets,
Giants,
Giants,
Lions,
Eagles,
and Ravens.
Ravens.
What about the Titans? What are the Titans, man?
I mean, I gave a B minus, but they're not top 5. They're in the middle somewhere.
I mean, I hope you guys are right at the Giants. I like what they did. I don't know if it was top 5, so we'll see next year. I guess before we move on to the playoffs and playoffs, what'd you think about Pittsburgh taking Kenny Pickett at 18?
I was very surprised because everything I had heard and everything they had shown. Now, they watched all the quarterbacks.
He's got little hands like me. So
They sent all their guys to see all the quarterbacks. So they saw Willis, they saw Pickett, they saw Ritter. And everything you heard was that Willis was their top guy, Ritter was second, and then they didn't really hear about a third one. So it was very surprising that they took him. He was considered the most ready to play. So maybe they may not be confident in Trubisky, and maybe they just say, all right, maybe we just start the rookie. I'm sure they're going to have a camp battle.
Mitchell.
Who knows now? I don't even know what he's doing. But
Through smoke.
so yeah, a little bit. I'm just surprised that they got it. I thought if they were not going to pick one of those top 2 quarterbacks in my mind, I thought they could have gotten something else. But they did get a wide receiver later in the draft to help them out. So, but they were able to get Cobb Monster in the 4th round, and he's super fast wide receiver. He's small, like 5'9", 170, but he ran like a 4.3 flat, so he's super fast.
I see one of their beat writers on Twitter basically like put a list of who they have at each position. It's like, oh, this is going to be fun. I'm like, how do you know it's going to be fun? What if fucking Kenny Pickett sucks?
Yeah.
What does that even mean? You can have Najee Harris, you can have Dante Johnson and Claypool and Vermouth, but the Giants have Kenny Golladay, Sterling Shepard, Kadarius Toney, Saquon Barkley,
Yeah.
Evan Ingram's bum ass. Obviously not here anymore.
They need the line to work on.
Right, and it doesn't matter, right? They still sucked, right?
Most
So it's
important
like-
positions on offense. Line.
I went to 5
quarterback
games
and
last
line.
year. It wasn't fun.
Yeah.
I mean, it was fun a few times when we beat the Panthers and we beat the Eagles, but the other 3 games I went to, it wasn't fun.
Yeah.
It wasn't fun at all.
And they had arguably the second worst line in the league behind Cincinnati. So they were bad last year on the line. They added 2 pieces, but they needed more.
What do you think, Dave, about Desmond Ridder going to Atlanta?
I mean, obviously, I think it's a good pick only because with the departure of Matt Ryan, obviously
Matty Ice.
Matty No Ice.
Matty No Ice.
They obviously got to look towards.
What do we
the
call
future,
him?
so-
Matty Water or something like that?
Matty what?
Because he's not cool. Like he's just right.
Yeah.
Matty Ice. The ice melted.
Matty Dry Ice.
Yeah, maybe.
Try.
But they'll get towards the future. So building towards the future, obviously, I mean, they needed to pick a quarterback. So, I think Kenny Pickett's going to be a good fit. So
Well, he's got small hands though.
So, yeah, but still, I mean,
I don't know.
again, remains to be seen, and you hope that he's got a good quarterbacks coach, and
Still lead the league in fumbles.
Nah, it's still Daniel Jones.
I was about to say that's still probably going to be Daniel Jones,
Well,
right?
no, not
He's
if
always
they-
fucking fumbling.
Not if they bench him mid-year.
So look, the one thing I seen throughout all the coverage of the NFL draft is hands. He's got long
Yes,
arms.
yes,
He's got
yes.
short arms.
It's crazy.
Bro, what if he's just a good football player?
Yeah.
Like he could have short arms and be a great football player.
Yeah, like they say, you can't be a left tackle unless your arms are 34 inch in length and stuff. Like, oh, dude, you got to be a right tackle. It's like it's all weird shit now.
I just, it's, I don't know, analytics and all this other stuff. Again, sometimes analytics is great, and sometimes analytics is bad.
The combine and analytics made Trayvon Walker the number 1 pick.
Basically,
there's no
right?
way he should have been number 1 over 800.
Yeah.
Didn't he only have like
We're
4
talking about
sacks?
Yeah, he wasn't really great this year in terms of production. So it literally was because he just had he's 272 pounds and ran a 4.5
I was going to say he ran that 4.5.
And the thing was that I heard, I think it was Mel. Mel Kiper wasn't there. He was in wherever, his home or whatever.
Yeah.
Saying that he's playing out of position, blah 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 blah. But I'm like,
All these excuses.
Didn't Georgia win the national championship last year? Like what?
It's all these. They had 6 guys
So,
on defense
how
taken this
are
year.
we making excuses for him not sacking people more
You
on
have
literally
6
the best team?
They had 5 guys taken in the first round, and they were wondering why N'Kobe Dean didn't go in the first round. So they had 6 guys that technically were like first round picks, like on their defense. Like,
And that defense was ridiculous.
yeah,
Like,
you should have an open way. If you're the best player on that defense, then you should be able to clear away.
Well, that was a spectacle of the NFL draft. Every year it gets crazier and crazier. I seen some guy with in between picks. There was performances. There was a guy doing hula hoops.
Oh my
and,
God, yeah.
Vegas, baby.
I'm like, what is going on?
Chris Angel hanging from the
What-
sky,
what is
trying to
going on?
like what the hell,
I
dude?
don't understand what's going on in front of the Bellagio.
And what was that? What was that about the audio? It was horrible.
Yeah, it was
audio.
real bad.
Like you're a multi-billion-dollar entity, maybe close to $1 trillion, and you can't get your audio fit. Come
Yo,
on,
the
guys.
funniest thing was that guy, Ed Morano. He was there for like 5 minutes, and they had the producer had to come on there to try to get him to read the pick.
Oh yeah, because wasn't he?
He was
he
there
the
for
whole
long.
speech?
Yeah, he was there so long. He just kept doing the whole
The
speech.
2 things I remember that was obviously outside of the guy with the hula hoops was the one dude who said something about where he went to school and he said go goats or something like that. And the lady came over and was like, read what's on the card, bro. I was like, what are you doing?
Ed Morano, yeah.
That was him, right?
Yeah.
That was in Go Goats.
Yeah.
And then
He was a player. He was a player from 50 years ago with the Vikings. I think
he was
it
like,
he wouldn't stop talking. He went on for like 5 minutes. That's the first
what
time
did he
I
say?
seen-
He was like South Indiana, Southwest Indiana University, go Goats.
He's the
They're like,
first
bro,
guy I've seen him try to
read
kick
read the card, bro.
He was receiving an award or something.
Dude, they should have brought him on there for day 3, because day
then-
3 sucks. They should have brought him on for day 3.
And then Wayne Newton, bro, got the dude's
Yeah,
old as hell,
my God,
man.
Yo, he looked like a scarecrow.
He's like the pick is in. Let's say it together, and then he just says it outside of Marcus Allen, and then he gets the university wrong. I think the guy was from Memphis, and I don't know what he said. Maybe he said Memphis, and he was from another school, but he totally got it wrong.
my
And I'm like,
gosh.
let's stop with the spec. Bring me more Make-A-Wish kids, and leave Wayne Newton's old ass at home.
Yeah, Kyle Brandt.
Las Vegas stable, bro.
Kyle Brandt eating the chicken wing on the stage.
Kyle Brandt was
Eating chicken wing.
the Super Bowl 50, whatever, 8 champions. What do you say? The only guy that's gonna be called, the name's gonna be called today. That's gonna be a Super Bowl winner.
champion.
I'm like, damn, the Buffalo Bills don't have any more picks.
Yeah, like what the hell?
Like, what happens to the guys in the 3rd, 4th round? They don't win a Super Bowl. They don't get a ring.
He knew they were trading away or something. I don't know.
But it was fun. It was fun the first me and Pete used to make this a spectacle because used to Saturday. I hate it that it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Yeah.
On Saturday, he used to come to my apartment and we'd be from like 11 a.m. to like 8 p.m. just doing debauchery stuff, binge drinking and like
Shenanigans.
basically shenanigans and just laughing our ass off. I miss that, but it's prime time now. But I digress.
You pass out and then wake up and the draft's still
The
going.
draft's still going, right? Order Chinese. The guy comes in, knocks on the door. He keeps knocking.
food here?
He keeps knocking because we're sleeping. Then he calls me and I'm like, oh shit, the Chinese food's outside.
I've been out here 20 minutes.
Yep.
He goes, what is it? Food's here.
Yeah.
The one time, not to go on a tangent, the one time before we went out for New Year's Eve, the dude banged on the door. He was like, Chinese food, Happy New Year. I was like, I couldn't stop laughing. But shout out to the
tip came in and had a shot or something.
Yeah, we gave him a beer.
Shot as a tip.
Yeah, we gave him a shot. Yeah, he's
it's a
like,
tip.
hey, come on in. You want a tip? Yeah, he had a shot of Hennessy. So, anyways, that was the NFL draft. Obviously, everyone loves the NFL.
Can't wait, man.
It was a
Can't
spectacle. We're only 3 or
Yeah.
4 months away.
Yep.
Pivoting a little bit to what happened at Madison Square Garden yesterday.
The robbery.
Awesome fight.
I'm not a proponent of women's boxing per se. I do watch Amanda Serrano because I think she's awesome.
Yeah.
And because?
I watch Senicia Estrada because I think she's awesome.
Yep.
She's my favorite. Senicia Estrada is my favorite. But Amanda Serrano gets knockout, so that's why I pay attention to it.
Yeah.
2-minute rounds. I hate it. I
Yeah.
hate that they only go 10. Whatever. But yesterday, it was literally the
Legit.
biggest women's boxing fight of all time. And it certainly lived up to it.
Yep.
Pete, I'm not mad with the decision. I'm mad that Amanda did not finish her off. Oh, it was over. It was over. It was over.
She dominated 2 rounds. She dominated the 5th and she dominated the 10th. The 10th was a little bit too late. The 5th, if it was 3 minutes rounds, there's no doubt that she would have stopped her in that 5th round. But I mean, it's 2-minute rounds, so there's nothing we could do about it. But it was a really good fight, back and forth. Looking back at it, it was pretty even. I know a lot of people were saying robbery, and at the time I said she got screwed. But it was an even fight. It could have gone either way.
I think it was 6-4 one way or the other.
Yeah.
I don't like the 97-93.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
I don't know how that's possible.
Yes. They gave a 10-8 round.
Yeah, there was a 10-8 round, right?
And they still gave him the 3-point win. I was like, how do you have Amanda winning the 10-8 round and you still give a 3-point win? Like, it made no sense. But I thought it was a good fight, and I definitely will see the rematch.
Yeah, I want to see a rematch.
And for the rematch, I want to see 3-minute rounds.
Yeah, or at least give me 12 rounds.
Yeah.
10 rounds.
I think Taylor said that she would be open, for a rematch.
Yeah, she said
We'll see if
they
that's-
both said it. Yeah,
We'll
She
see
got
if
her ass
that's
kicked this
so. But
but it had to be. They wanted that
good
in the
fight,
UK
though.
this time.
Good fight.
What was it? They won in Ireland, I think.
Oh, yeah,
I'll give
yeah, that's
her.
what I heard too.
I'll give her in the 6th, 7th round. Like she really came back from
Oh, yeah.
literally being this close to being stopped. So speed was there. I don't know,
Busted her
man.
nose twice. Like
Huh?
that's crazy. Busted her nose twice.
I'm like, Amanda, what? Why did you put your were you tired? I really wish if I was covering the fight, I'm sure somebody probably asked her like why she took the pedal off the gas or whatever, foot off
Maybe
the
she
pedal.
was tired. I don't know.
But she was, she was bloodied up. But I guess, Dave, I want to say, if you watch the fight, over 19,000 people. Electric.
I heard, MSG baby.
Probably the best women's fight I've ever seen in boxing. Obviously not comparing it to other combat sports. Probably the best women's fight I've ever seen. Where do they go from here? Like, is there something else that they can do to do this again? Because, I don't know, man. That was pretty high. Obviously they go to Ireland, it's going to be done. But what about the rest of the women? Because there's not another Katie Taylor out there. There's not another Amanda Serrano out there, right? There's other women out there. But this was literally probably the 2 best female fighters of the last 20 years coming together and fighting. What do they do from here?
They just gotta, better the promotion about, some of these fighters.
So just-
can be appealing. Obviously, Amanda Serrano, obviously the Latino side, she's Puerto Rican.
Yeah,
that's,
right.
That's all, from Brooklyn, I think. So
Brooklyn, yeah.
that's appealing.
Brooklyn.
She's obviously tied to one of the Paul brothers. So obviously, he brings people, to the seats as well.
Yeah.
So Eddie Hearn, I like him as a
Hearns.
promoter. He does really well. So
Yeah,
they
he's good,
got to
yeah.
be able
He's
to,
cool.
be able to make these storylines and promote this a little bit better. So hopefully there's more to come, man. I didn't get to see the fight because I had some technical difficulties getting into the red zone. So, but I was able to actually track the fight. I saw the highlights. So it was a close fight. I mean, a lot of swing rounds. I thought.
Yeah, I think there was a lot of
and
swing
yes,
rounds.
Serrano.
Yeah,
I mean, she had her, man. She had her. Taylor did a good job coming back. Working that defense and being able to maintain that space, obviously from Serrano, because you knew what Serrano was going to do.
Yeah.
She was going to try to go in there and knock her out. I mean,
Yeah.
she's got a lot of power in her punches. So I definitely would like to see something like this, even to promote it better as well. Like bringing it to MSG, the Mecca. I mean, that was fucking that was great. That was a great plan by I hate to say it, Paul and Hearn, but that was fucking great.
That's
that was awesome.
moves.
And they need to do more of that.
I think you
That
might.
10th round was crazy.
Yeah,
though.
even
Yes, it
did you
was.
see the video of
That was
like
nuts.
at the end that Katie Taylor's knee was like this close from the ground, but somehow
Crazy.
that would have changed the fight. I mean, I don't know if it would have changed the fight based on the scorecard.
Yeah,
the
no,
scorecard is pretty
but
garbage, but
yeah.
Yeah.
That would have raised the outrage.
I mean,
right?
that's maybe
Yeah,
definitely would have raised the
something that you
outrage.
got to
But
work.
yeah, that 10th round was crazy. Like it really was at the point where they were just throwing punches. Said, "All right, who's going to go down first?"
And the crowd was going nuts.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it was fucking great.
It was crazy.
Seeing the
It was
highlight, it was
good.
fucking nuts. So it was pretty cool.
All right.
But are you trying to say we need more Jake Paul in boxing? I think we do need more
Yeah,
Jake Paul in
I
boxing.
definitely
I
do.
think
It's
he
helping.
will. I think he will be a better promoter, obviously, than boxer.
Yeah.
And if he can do this, like, I mean, he's putting his money where his mouth is, right? He said, "I'm here to help boxers make more money,"
Yeah.
right? And Amanda
Highlight
Serrano,
women's boxing.
yeah, Amanda Serrano made 7 figures. Whenever these MMA guys come to box, they're making the most
Yeah.
money they've ever made.
Exactly.
So I think obviously I respect his craft. Coming in not knowing whatever he probably kicked a lot of people's ass in the boxing game, right? The
Yeah.
dudes that are like 4-12
Yeah.
or 8-8 or whatever. The people that that you give your prospects coming up, he'll probably whoop their ass, right?
Yeah.
Probably not going to win a world championship,
No.
right?
No.
But if he can do what he did yesterday and promote something
That'd
that
be
big,
huge.
you know what I'm saying? And I should have went yesterday. The tickets weren't that expensive, but
Yeah.
life
How much
is
are
like.
tickets?
I mean, if you wanted to
Wasn't
sit
that-
upstairs, like $30.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. well,
Downstairs, like 200, 300.
Yeah.
But I mean, still, man,
200, 300 is not bad.
Yeah.
Downstairs.
19,000. 19,000 people.
Yeah. It was like,
It was a great experience to see live. I didn't see it live, but everyone that I spoke to that saw it live
yeah, they said it was
said
unbelievable.
unbelievable. But to see the crowd was amazing. Before we move to the NBA playoffs,
By the way, Jake Paul fights August 13th.
who's he
Nobody
fighting?
gives a shit.
He didn't say
Move
it
on.
yet, but
He just
He's
made
gonna fight Tony
The
Bellew.
announcement was made like right before we started the show.
He's gonna fight Tony Bellew,
All right,
probably.
move on.
No, but great night. Loved it. You want to say anything about
Valdez,
your boy,
Stevenson,
and
so-
the guy from Newark? Newark, stand
Listen,
up. Let's
listen,
go.
Listen, Shakur, I mean, damn, he was big.
Yeah, he's
I mean, compared to Val, I was like, whoa, he is so much bigger. But listen, Stevenson, what a great fight, man.
Yeah.
That speed, footwork, he was maintaining that distance too. He wasn't allowing Valdez to come in. I thought Valdez fought the wrong fight as well. Very flat-footed, not much movement side to
That's
side.
what he does, though.
I mean, I know, but still,
how he always fights.
I mean, listen, you got to make an adjustment though.
Yeah.
And he tried to make some adjustments, but not a real adjustment. He just that peekaboo guard. I mean, I hate that. I mean,
leaves you open
I don't
everywhere.
I didn't think that helped him as well. So I mean, listen, credit to Stevenson, man. He looks like a star. You know what I'm saying? That is coming out. This kid is good. I would love to see him and Haney. If Haney obviously beats Kambosos,
He's gotta move up in
even,
weight.
Yeah.
or maybe even the winner
Next
of that
year.
fight. But I would love to see that fight. But man, he's a rising star, man. You got to give credit, and I thought he fought a great fight. He looked good too. Looked good.
I think the KO was there for him if he wanted it.
Yeah, I think so,
I
too.
was a little.
Yeah.
That's the one
He
thing.
didn't really press at times. Like
That's the one
you
thing.
could've saw it. And he didn't really
That's the
press.
one thing I want him to kind of work on to get that killer instinct, dude. Like if Terrence Crawford has you out there, Terrence Crawford is gonna finish you. If Errol Spence has you outside of the Mikey Garcia fight, because I don't know what it was, maybe he felt bad for Mikey, but if Errol Spence has you out there and you see the KO, he's gonna go for it.
Yeah, but I don't think he saw the KO yesterday. I know you said that it was out there for him, but I don't think it was. I don't think Valdez was ever hurt. He got hit a lot, but I don't think he was ever hurt. The knockdown was almost a flash down when he was off balance.
It was a knockdown, though.
Yeah, it definitely was a knockdown, but I think it was more off balance where he got hit in the side of the ear.
Yeah.
So I don't think he ever really got him hurt. I just think it was one of those situations. And this may be a little controversial, but I think that he, in terms of his style, in terms of the hit and don't get hit, he is right now the closest to what Floyd was.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's saying a lot.
Last night, Valdez hit him more than any other guy has ever
did
hit him
one
in
round,
that round, and it was only 18 punches.
Fifth or sixth.
Yeah, that third round, and it was only 18 punches. Like, for somebody to say you're high, and he's been fine for it's not like he's only had 5 fights. He's had a good amount of fights. If you've only been hit 18 times in a round max,
It's crazy.
you're not getting hit.
Yeah.
So
I listen. I just hope he works on that because Terrence Crawford's a dog. Like they were talking about dog yesterday, and Andre Ward was like, "Oh, dog doesn't mean just taking punches. It means But
Yeah.
I get it. That's also true. But dog also means when you're busting up your
Attack.
opponent's face, you put him away. Like you put that dog down, and Terrence Crawford would have done that, right? Errol Spence would have done that. So that's the only thing I think he needs to work on.
Was that Bud in his corner earlier?
Yeah, they're
Yeah, I saw.
they're I don't know if they're friends, but I guess they used to train.
in his
Yeah.
corner, though.
They train together. They
Yeah.
spar and stuff like that.
That's cool.
We got about 4 minutes left here. Celtics Bucks going on right now. Looks like the Bucks are up 8 with 8:36 left. Double header. How do you see that series playing out?
with the Bucks and Celtics,
Yeah.
I like the Bucks to win it just because it's hard to bet against Giannis right now. Tatum's playing really well, but I mean, I'm not sure if Robert Williams did come back today, but without Robert Williams, they're going to have a tough time trying to guard him because he's the only one that has the athletic ability to even slow Giannis down.
He's played 22 minutes, so maybe he's limited because.
Yeah, and they got to hope. Then they'd have to hope they don't go down 2-0 to start the series because they'll really put them in the back.
Well, now they're down 14, so so that game's pretty much going to be over in 7 minutes. But intriguing series, Dave. I like this series a lot. I like this Grizzlies Warriors series. I think it's going to be a fun one. John Morant be putting people that dunk the other day.
I was going to say
Dunk of the year. man.
I think that's going to be a good series. What are your thoughts on where that goes?
I think it's going to be a good series. I mean, you can't get better against the Warriors at this point. I think so. I think they have the best, probably 3 tandem in the playoffs. The Grizzlies, how many comebacks did they have to do? You know what I'm saying? Last round, just to get. You know what I'm saying?
That's on the
Yeah,
Wolves.
they can't be getting down 20
You
to the
can't.
Warriors.
You can't. So that's
That's on
my
the
thing.
Wolves,
That's
though.
my
To
thing.
put them down 40.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
That's on the
to
Wolves,
do.
though. That's on the Wolves, though.
I don't think they
It
can
is, but that's what I'm
sustain
saying,
something
yeah.
like that, and I don't think they can fall like that in this series as well. So, but I listen. I have the Warriors probably.
Like you said, the
Probably
Wolves blew
5 or
that
6,
lead.
yeah.
They can't hope for Golden State to blow that lead.
And not the way the Warriors can mount up points too so quickly though. No way.
I mean, I think the Warriors are going to make it to the finals, but I think this might be the best series
Yeah.
in the whole playoffs. I think it's probably going to go 7, and I think.
I mean, Suns Golden State is going to be good in the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah, I think it is too. But I think this one's going to be fun. It's going to be up and down, more up and down than I think the Suns Mavericks is going to be.
Memphis has a bunch of shooters that people don't talk about.
Yeah,
They can shoot.
They also
threes,
got
too.
Patterson's own Kyle Anderson. So,
Oh my god! Yeah,
Let's
he
go.
is the new Boris Diaw. He is so slow, but he gets to the point he needs to get to.
Patterson's own Kyle Anderson, baby. I'm gonna root for him.
Yeah.
He and Sixers and B. We don't know how long he's out for.
Minimum 2 games.
So you think this is 5 games? 5 games probably.
Yeah.
Harden, baby, it's all on Harden. What do you think?
Playoff Harden.
Harden.
What do you say about playoff Harden?
What do you think?
No show. No show. He's gonna have maybe one good
5
game.
games.
They maybe win. Maybe they get 2, but yeah, they're done in 5 or 6.
Damn, I like him. I like him B too, but
Pretty impressive though. How the Heat were able to win that series. I mean, with all their people, out. I mean, they overcame those injuries. But
All they need is Jimmy. Yeah.
yeah, I mean
that's it, baby.
Sixers probably should have kept him.
Done. Stop.
Damn, what do you think? Every Chicago Bull goes to the Knicks?
Why
Jordan
not?
almost made it.
Why not?
Oh my god.
What are you talking about, bro?
But yeah, I think the Sixers should have kept Jimmy, and they catered to Ben Simmons. And
Yeah.
Now look where they are.
That sucks.
Then I guess Mavericks and the
Suns.
Suns. Devin back. Chris Paul's being annoying.
That's gonna be a good series.
I think it's gonna be a good
Yeah,
series
it's gonna be a
too.
good series. I think.
I don't know who I'm picking for that one though.
7 games.
I think it might go 7.
I'm gonna go with Suns, but I don't think it'll go 7 because if it goes 7, then Luka may put up something special in Game 7 to win it. So I'm gonna go Suns in 6.
I'm gonna go Suns in 7.
Yeah, I'll go Suns. Probably 6 as well. So, yeah. I mean,
Imagine Luka put up like a 50, 10, and 10 in Game 7,
Possible.
which he can. Yeah.
Possible. Oh well, that's the show for today. We'll talk about baseball down the road.
Yeah.
baseball. It's still early. Right?
I still haven't seen a full
I'll
Yankee
have
game.
some
We haven't
surprises.
had a good sample size yet.
I'll have some surprises for Dave when baseball really kicks up.
Oh, God. And we'll end it on. We'll end it
That's
on
why
that.
there's still some.
Beautiful. I love it.
You know why
We'll
there's
end it
still
on
very.
that. We'll end it on
Episodes
that.
leave some of the
We'll
time,
end
that's
it on
why.
that.
it,
Goodbye.
baby.
2 weeks.